Welcome to this exciting deep dive into the Marvel Comics universe, where we explore the origin and legacy of one of the most fearsome villains to ever grace the pages of a comic book. M.O.D.O.K, which stands for Mental Organism Designed Only for Killing, has terrorized some of the greatest heroes in the Marvel universe, including Captain America, Iron Man, and the X-Men. But before he became a megalomaniacal mastermind, he was just a scientist named George Tarleton, who made a fateful decision that would change his life in the Marvel universe forever. Join us as we delve into the intricacies of this complex character and discover what made M.O.D.O.K one of the greatest threats in the Marvel Comics world. From his debut appearance in Tales of Suspense issue number 93 in 1967, M.O.D.O.K has left a lasting impact on the Marvel Comics universe, and we're going to explore why. Before becoming the mechanical monstrosity we know today, M.O.D.O.K was a low-level scientist named George Tarleton. Who he was and what he did in his past life has been retconned a few times. Initially, he was presented as being a drone at AIM. Then in issue 3 of the 2021 series Marvels, he was given to us as an exceptional scientist. Either way, George Tarleton found himself working for AIM, or Advanced Idea Mechanics, a think tank made up of brilliant scientists who had the goal of overthrowing world governments through technological means. AIM had hired Tarleton to work on the project to create the Cosmic Cube, an immensely powerful object with the ability to alter reality. The head of AIM at the time, Lyle Getz, also known as the Scientist Supreme, made George Tarleton into an unwilling participant in a project that would allow AIM to study the Cosmic Cube. So they genetically altered Tarleton, turning him into a being with the superior mental capabilities necessary to understand the Cosmic Cube while still subservient to AIM's leadership. They named their new creation M.O.D.O.K, Mental Organism Designed Only for Computing. What they failed to realize was that with greater intelligence came greater ambition. So with the anger that M.O.D.O.K felt at being turned into a monster, with his thirst for revenge and utmost confidence in his mental superiority, M.O.D.O.K quickly took over AIM and changed his designation to Mental Organism Designed Only for Killing, which is the same acronym but with a K instead of a C. As with Kang's origin story being retconned in 2021, check out my Origin of Kang video for that, M.O.D.O.K's was also changed. In the 2021 series M.O.D.O.K Head Games, M.O.D.O.K's father Alvin Tarleton was the creator of AIM, which is a fairly significant change for AIM lore. For decades in Marvel continuity, AIM had been created by Baron Strucker as a technological arm of Hydra. Wanting to change the world through science, Alvin created AIM and had his son George join the organization. Unfortunately, George did not share his father's genius, so Alvin forced him into the experiment that turned on the AIM scientist, and Alvin fled the organization. It also turns out that a lot of M.O.D.O.K's memories were implanted by his father. So basically, George Tarleton was turned into a weapon and given false memories to help him deal with his trauma, making him similar to Wolverine. Personally, I hold to the original backstory for both M.O.D.O.K and AIM, partially because I don't think the retcon is good, but also this story was written by Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom, the team who wrote the M.O.D.O.K Hulu series. I've always found Patton Oswalt to be incredibly annoying as a person ever since I saw him on King of Queens as a kid. He's also a very self-righteous social justice warrior in geek culture, making him even more insufferable. So I am biased in that respect. If you read M.O.D.O.K Head Games and enjoy the retcon, that's fine. It's just not for me. Before becoming M.O.D.O.K, George Tarleton had two relationships that would be pretty important later on. The first one was with a woman named Linda who we met in college. They would be together for a while, but he would abandon her after she got pregnant, before going off to join AIM. Years later, his son, Sean Madigan, would infiltrate AIM and attempt to kill his father. You can see these events in Miss Marvel issues number 11 through 17 by Brian Reed. The other, very short-lived relationship was with Monica Rappaccini, a fellow AIM scientist who had a brief fling with George before deciding he was beneath her. She would go on to become AIM's Scientist Supreme for a while. In Incredible Hulk issue number 610, M.O.D.O.K as we knew him died. That is, he was actually changed back into George Tarleton with no memory of his actions as M.O.D.O.K. But in issue 29 of the Hulk, a cloned brain of George Tarleton was activated and transferred into a new M.O.D.O.K body, and he named himself M.O.D.O.K Superior. So technically, you have two different versions of M.O.D.O.K or George Tarleton and two origin stories. As far as I know, the original George Tarleton is still out there somewhere, though I'm not sure that he's actually appeared in Marvel for a while. M.O.D.O.K possesses an incredible intellect and immense psychic powers, including telekinesis, energy projection, and mind control. His powers are formidable on their own, but they are greatly enhanced by his signature Doomsday Chair. The chair not only supports M.O.D.O.K's massive brain, but also enhances his mental abilities, allowing him to interface with technology, control his armies, and even manipulate reality itself. With the Doomsday Chair, M.O.D.O.K is a force to be reckoned with, capable of taking on entire armies and even some of the most powerful heroes in the Marvel Universe. It is the cornerstone of his power and one of the most recognizable and iconic elements of his character. M.O.D.O.K's main motivations in Marvel Comics are his desire for power and a deep-seated hatred for Captain America. With his immense power, M.O.D.O.K sought to establish himself as the ultimate leader of the world, using his formidable intellect and psychic abilities to manipulate world events and conquer entire nations. Despite his ambitions, however, M.O.D.O.K's true nemesis has always been Captain America. The Star-Spangled Avenger represents everything that M.O.D.O.K despises: bravery, honor, and an unwavering commitment to doing what is right. In many ways, M.O.D.O.K's animosity towards Captain America is a reflection of his own self-loathing, a manifestation of his frustration at his own failures and shortcomings. This intense animosity is on full display in comic books such as Captain America issue number 133 and Tales of Suspense issue number 94, where M.O.D.O.K and Captain America engage in epic battles that test the limits of both their abilities and their characters. Through these battles, we see the true depths of M.O.D.O.K's hatred for Captain America and the lengths he's willing to go to defeat him and prove his own superiority. Whether battling in the streets or in the realms of the mind, M.O.D.O.K and Captain America's rivalry is one for the ages and a testament to the enduring appeal of the Marvel Universe. When Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created M.O.D.O.K, they were tapping into the fears and anxieties of the Cold War era. In a time of rapidly advancing technology and the looming threat of nuclear war, M.O.D.O.K was the embodiment of humanity's fear of losing control to machines and technology. In Tales of Suspense issue number 93, published in 1967, the creators introduced M.O.D.O.K as a character who was once a simple scientist, but had undergone a transformation into a grotesque, mechanical being with immense psychic abilities. This transformation represented the dangers of science run amok and the fear of humans being replaced or dominated by machines. It's also important to note that although the concept of M.O.D.O.K was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in Tales of Suspense issue number 93, M.O.D.O.K wasn't actually seen until Tales of Suspense issue number 94, which was written by Stan Lee but drawn by Colan. M.O.D.O.K once stood as a formidable villain, feared by many of Marvel's greatest heroes such as Captain America and the Avengers. However, M.O.D.O.K has become somewhat of a comedic figure in recent years. This shift in perception is perhaps due to the character's exaggerated physical appearance, with his giant head and small body appearing more absurd than threatening. Additionally, the character's humorous personality and lack of consistent victories in his battles with Marvel's heroes may have also contributed to his transformation into a figure of comedy. However, it's important to remember that at his core, M.O.D.O.K is a villain with an intellect and psychic powers to match the likes of some of the greatest Marvel villains, and should not be underestimated. M.O.D.O.K is a must-see villain for any Marvel fan, and his appearance in comic books like Tales of Suspense issues number 93 and 94, as well as Captain America issue number 133, are essential reading for understanding this iconic character. And for MCU fans, M.O.D.O.K will be making his first appearance in the MCU in the upcoming film Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He'll be played by Corey Stoll, who, if you remember, actually played Yellow Jacket in the first Ant-Man film. So be sure to catch the latest installment in the Ant-Man series and see how M.O.D.O.K fits into the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you have any questions regarding M.O.D.O.K, please post those in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, and thanks for watching.